1 and 2-year-old leaders, we are preparing for October 28th. And this week in our lesson, we're going to be talking about Isaac and Rebekah. Now remember, we're talking about the promise, and we're remembering where we've come from. We've come from Genesis and talking about how God had a plan in the very beginning. And that plan continued through Abraham and all of Abraham's family for many generations, so that we could see that God was making a way for Jesus through all of these people. And so we're going to pick up today with Isaac and Rebekah. Rebekah is Isaac's wife. Isaac was Abraham's son. So remember, we talked about Abraham, the promise Abraham had from God that he would have a large family, as many as the stars in the sky. And then last week we talked about how God provided Isaac as that sacrificial lamb, and then provided a ram at the sacrifice as a way to help us see that God was making a way always for Jesus to be that sacrifice. And then today we're going to continue because Isaac needed to find Rebekah because of Rebekah's family heritage to help put all of these pieces together. So I don't know if you've ever done any genealogy work, but keep that in mind. That's what we're doing, is helping build this large family tree so that we can see that God's plan was for Abraham to be the father of many nations so that Jesus could be a part of that family. All right. So in your small group activities, now remember, we're making these videos so that you know what's available to you. I realize you have 1-year-olds and you have 2-year-olds, and there's some days where all you need to do is just make sure that the kids make it through the day, and we want you to do that. But I also want you to know that if you wanted to at least play the Bible story video and give them something active to do, you have resources in your rooms available for that purpose. So your small group activity this week is to let the kids play with Play-Doh. Now you're going to know your 1-year-olds a little bit better. 1-year-olds maybe don't need to do Play-Doh if you think they're going to put it all in their mouth. That's completely up to you, or maybe you want to help them do it a little at a time and not put the whole class together. That's your discretion as a small group leader to figure out what is best for the kids in your group. 2-year-olds, they can sit and play Play-Doh. They probably would really love to do that. I'm not sure many of them get the opportunity to do that real regularly anyway. And as they're using their Play-Doh, you want to help them build a family. So even if you can't do this with your 1-year-olds, you could help build the family for them and show them how to do the family. Or if you don't even want to pull out Play-Doh, maybe you pull out some of the little people or different toys that are in your room and make a family out of it, and talk about who's a part of a family and talk about who's a part of those kids' families. That might be the easiest way to handle that with your 1-year-olds. And as you're doing that, you could challenge your 2-year-olds to see if they can build a camel. And remember, camels have humps, and some of them have 1 hump and some of them have 2 humps. And so see if the kids can help figure out how to build a camel. And maybe they need to use their resources to do that together. You have a memory verse activity, and the memory verse activity is really just so that kids can begin to learn the words that are in these verses. Your verse for the series is, if you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's seed, heirs according to the promise. So we have some motions that we've laid out for you guys to do. You'll say, if you belong to Christ, and you're going to grasp your hands together like this, like you're holding on really tight to each other. And then you're going to bend down like you are in a little ball and grow like a tree. Then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Point to God as you do that. Feel free to say that over and over and over again till the kids can begin to say some of those words with you. And then you will pray with them. I've also provided, because your activity today is not a take-home page, you will have coloring sheets that look like this. So if you want to send that home with each kid so the parents know the lesson that we taught today, so that you know, every month we provide a family resource packet, and it's available through our app. It's available from our website, and it's also available in print on our slat wall as families are checking in. That's a really great way for families to know what we're teaching throughout a whole series, as well as we send out a monthly email to all families telling them what we're teaching. So if you ever feel like we're not giving parents enough information, they do have a whole lot of resources out there. We just may need to help parents understand how to find those resources so that they know what we're doing with their kids and how we're doing that. Then you will pray with them and send them on their way. Thank you so much for leading. I hope these videos are helping you know better what to expect as you're walking in your rooms. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you soon. Have a good week.